Hi, this is Mr. Max. So I am looking today at an old grade 10 question paper. It was actually written in 2019, and this one is very useful for learners doing grade 8 and 9 mathematics. All right, although your paper one you do not use a calculator, the content here is still very much useful. So let's give this a go and see how this goes. So they are asking you to write 23 upon 6 as a mixed number. Again, just ask yourself how many times a 6 go into 23. So you know your 6 times table is 6, 12, okay, 18, and then you have got 24 and so on and so on and so on. So you do realize that 6 goes there 3 times, and 6 times 3 is 18. So whatever is left, that 5 that is left, you put it then over that 6. Okay, right. In each part, fill in the missing number to make the statement correct. So if you look at this is here, it's going to be -2 times something should gives you -14. And in order for me to find that something, I'm going to have -14 divided by -2. So I know that this should be a 7. Okay, that missing value there. Now, when you look at yourselves here, you look at 96 divided by 8 in order for you to find out, but what was this 8 multiplied with to give you 96? All right, so 8 goes in and then 8 goes in 16 two times. So it's like you multiply by 12. So on top, the answer will be 7 times 12. So 7 times 12, well, that's 70 plus 14. So that is 84. So the missing number is 84 upon 96. Good. They are not, as this is not degrees, this is 13 raised to the power of 0. The answer is straightforward. It's 1. Find the two missing terms or the two next terms that you find. So if you look at how do you get from the next one to the next one to the next one, you agree with me that you get there by adding a certain number. And what is that number? Well, that number is 5. If you add 5, or is it 4? Or is it 6? If you add 6, you get to that number. So every time is as if you add 6. So you find the next one by saying 35 plus 6. Well, so you do find the next numbers then by saying 35 plus 6. Well, that gives you 41. And adding another 6, that gives you 47. Okay, so that is how that question is answered. Right, they are saying you must write 834,000 in standard form. So that becomes 8.34 times 10 raised to the power. So that's 3, 4, 5. 10 raised to the power of 5. Okay, remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, standard form. Right, then they are saying you should work out the following, give your final answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So this is 6 upon 7. You change the division to multiplication, that becomes 3 over 8. Well, I'm going to just do a few things here. I know that if you look at 6 over 7, 3 over 8, well, this number 2 goes here 3 times and 2 goes here 4 times. Okay, there's nothing else that I can cancel, so it's just going to be 3 times 3 over 7 times 4. So my answer will be 9 upon 28. Right. The next one, they say apples cost $2.60 for each kilogram. You're supposed to calculate the cost of 4.5, so it's 2.6 multiplied by 4.5. Again, as I said, this was a calculator question. You can whip out a calculator for this if you're just a bit unsure about your answer. 2.6 times 4.5. Well, $11.70. A car travel. Here's the thing about this. You have the speed, you have the time. So in order for you to find how far that's distance, you must take the speed, then you multiply by the time. Okay, so the speed is 50 kilometers per hour. You multiply that with half an hour. Well, so basically the answer should be 25 kilometers because 50 times a half is 25 anyway. In a school of 890 learners, the ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 3. Calculate the number of girls in the school. So the number of girls will be 2 over 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, you get that by multiplying or by adding the parts. Okay, so in turn, this gives you 2 over 5 times 890. Again, you can grab your calculator, then you find that particular value. So it's 2 divided by 5 times 890. 356 girls. There are 356 girls in the school. Convert 500 pounds, right? So let me look at the exchange rate. So I have the pound, 1 pound versus Namibian dollar, and it's 17.09. So 500 Namibian dollar, and I put an X here. Well, you can do your cross multiplication. You'll realize that it's 17.09x equals to 500. Well, in order for you to find the answer, you have to take the 500 divided by 17.09. Okay, in order for us to get the answer in pounds. Okay, so let's grab our calculator again. So it's 500 divided by 17.09. 29.26. Okay, 29.26 pounds, give or take. Now, question 11, Pandey invests 3,400, 4 years, 6%, simple interest. They ask you to find the interest. The interest is simply calculated by taking the 3,500, multiplying it by the 6%, multiplying it by the time. Okay, so again, this will give you straightforward. You can cancel those zeros, and you grab your calculator, and then you find the missing values, or you simply say 35 times 6 times 4, 840. So 840, that should be our answer. Let's just correct that nicely. So this is 840 million dollars, and that is the interest. The interest. If it was asking for amount, then I would be adding that. Okay. Question 12. The price of a computer is set at 13,450. The price will be reduced by 20%. So what is the percentage reduction? Now there are many ways you can do this, but the percentage reduction is 100% minus 20%, which is 80%. So therefore the new price will be 80% less than, or 20% less. So I just find then 80% of that amount. You can grab your calculator. Clear. 80% is nothing but 0.8. Then you multiply that by 13,450. So 10,760. Okay, again, there are many ways you can first find 20% and then subtract that from 13,000. The total number of goals scored in the Premier League season is 345 goals. Kane scored 29. Calculate to 1 decimal place the average or the percentage of goals. Percentage that he scored is going to be the 29 out of the 345, and you simply multiply that by 100. Okay, so let's bring our calculator in again. So it's 29 out of the 345, and 1 that is a percentage, so 8.4%. Okay, so that is 8.4%. Don't forget to show your workings, very important. Right, they say change 65 square centimeter into square meters. Now, let me first work on a little bit of a case here. 1 square meter is the same like 1 meter times 1 meters, just so you know. And you know that 1 meter in itself is equal to 100 centimeters. All right? Okay, so 100 centimeters. So this therefore means 1 square meter is equal to 10,000 square centimeter. 1 square meter is equal to 10,000 square centimeter. So if you want to change 65,000 square centimeter into square meters, you'll have to divide that by 10,000. So you'll be saying 65,000 divide by 10,000. All right? This is going to give me 6.5, which is the answer that we are requiring. Question 15, the diagram shows a parallelogram. Calculate the area of the parallelogram, right? So in order for you to calculate the area of a parallelogram, its area is base times height. So the base is simple. It's 8 times the height, which is given to you as 5.5, because we are looking at the perpendicular height, not at slant height. Okay, so the area is 8 times 5.5. So it's clear that 8 times 5.5. Well, that gives you 44. So the area is 44. 2 marks for that. Then part B, a cuboid has a width of 6, height of 9, and L is the centimeters. The volume is given as that. Calculate the length. So you know the formula is to find is going to be 6 times 9 times our L should give us 675. Okay, right. So 6 times 9, so that is 54. L should give you 675. And in order for you to get the L, you take the 675, you divide that by 54. So let's bring a calculator to play, just to make sure. So you're going to say 675 divided by 54. So the length, therefore, is 12.5. I'm just going to go ahead and write it in here. I can take away this one, because I already have my length. Okay. Right, this one is asking you to write down the order of rotational symmetry. So let's suppose its center is somewhere here. And the order of rotational symmetry is like you have to turn this thing 3 times in order for it to be exactly, to look exactly the way it has to. If I draw a line from there through here, and you fold it, it will be folded. The same, you draw a line from there to there, it will be folded. Again, if I draw a line from there through there, it will be folded. So the lines of symmetry are also 3, as you have seen. Okay. Good. Question 17. They are asking you to find the values of A and B. Now, this is alternate angle here. So A is 40 degrees, because you can see that's Z. All right. So if A is 40 degrees, then you should be able to realize that in order for you to find B, you have to look at these particular points here. This here, this one here, indicate that you have an isosceles triangle. So if you have an isosceles triangle, and this is 40 here, then 180 minus 40 should give you 120. Okay, I hope I've seen my mistake there. Let me just correct it a little bit. 180 minus 40 is nothing but 140, which means this B and this B, they should share something. They should have something in common. Now you already can see that B will be 140. You divide that by 2, which gives you P as 70. So A is nothing but 40 degrees, and B is nothing but 70 degrees. So you can actually work through these diagrams and write in the missing values, and then you'll find the answer, what you're looking for. The exterior angle of a regular polygon is 40 degrees. The number of sides you're supposed to find now. All exterior angles. Angles of any polygon, they add up to 360 degrees. Therefore, you can simply find that number of sides by dividing that by 40, and you will know that it's a 9-sided polygon. Right, this is multiplication 9a. You just have to multiply. So when you multiply, you add the indices. So this is x to the 8th, y to the 7th power. Okay. Here you're supposed to factorize. So 14 is a common factor, and p, so you have p plus, well, it's not really 14. Let me just correct that. 7 is, let's take that off. Okay, so 7 is the highest common factor. 7 goes in 14, it goes in 21, and p, so 7 goes there, 2p will be left, and 7 and 21 is 3q will be left. All right, so you can check, you multiply back just for you to make sure that you get to the same answers, and you also factorize completely by taking out the highest common factor. So that is what we are looking for. Right, they have line AB and line CD are drawn. Well, from this information, I can actually see line CD is y equals to 4, as you can see. Okay, they are saying write down the coordinates of point A. Well, the coordinates of point A is nothing but 0, 1, because, you know, no x reading, just y reading. So that is just worth 1 mark. Please don't switch them around. Then write down the equation of line CD. Well, as indicated already, line CD is nothing but y equals to 4. Question 21. You have got a list of numbers, and from this list of numbers, you're supposed to write the range. It means you take the biggest value, which in this case is 9. And then you subtract the lowest value, which you can see is 2. Alright, so the range is 7. Then the mode is the one that appears the most. And from that information, you can see that 2 appears 3 times, and 2 is the mode. The median, middlemost number, so maybe we have to arrange. So let's arrange. So we have got 3 2s. Then we have, so let me just do this. Just to highlight what I have. So I have a 2. I wrote it, cancel it out. And I have a 3. I have a 3. I don't have a 4. I have a 5. I have a 6. I don't have a 7. I have a 8. In fact, my 6s are 2. So let me bring in another 6 here. And then I have a 8. And then I have a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we are looking for the 2 middlemost numbers, right? So the middle numbers, it's 4 on that side, 4 on that side. And the middlemost number, if you have to look at it, is nothing. Let's make this red. Just want to get here. It's 5. Okay, 4 on that side, 4 on that side. So the median is the number that is in the middle. So you get the median by arranging. Now, when I say arrange, it can be from big to small, or you can arrange them from small to big. And another thing, if my data was even, then I would be taking the two in the middle and I find the mean of the two in the middle. Right, question 22, you're supposed to find the length of AB. This is a right angle triangle. Shows the right angle triangle, so this means this angle here is 90 degrees. And we are supposed to find AB, and the information is not enough for you to use Pythagoras' theorem, so you'll have to use your sine ratio or your cosine ratio. So which one comes in handy? Well, it's the sine ratio. The sine of 37, remember, is a calculator value, is always whatever is opposite, in this case AB, over the hypotenuse. Right, so in order for me to find AB then, just correct that. Just make sure I just to correct my problem, and let me just clean. I made a mistake with my pen. Okay, but I'm back on. So AB is equal to 11.2 multiplied by the sine of 37. You don't have to put a times when you write it like this, okay? It's only when you write it after sine 37 then you put a 12 times there. Right, so again, just to make sure your calculator is in degree mode when you do this, and then you say 11.2 sine of 37. Well, 6.74, right? 6.7. So just to reiterate something quickly so you can know what rounding you're supposed to use for this paper, and also most of the stuff in grade 8 and 9 you are supposed to give your answers to 1 decimal place, and if it's money calculations, 2 decimal place. So I'm then okay if I leave that answer to 1 decimal place. Okay, so I do believe that that is also the last question in this particular paper. Okay, to 1 decimal place, 6.7, that is 2 marks. 1 mark there is obviously for the method. So please don't forget to show, always to show your method, because you get marks for working. Show your working, 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the correct answer. Okay, right, as I said, this paper is relevant, although it was for previous grade 10s in 2019. It is very much relevant paper for our grade 8 and our grade 9 students.